I think GW actually thought this through. It's weird. Feels weird to say, but I think it. Hey everybody, this is Space Marine Steve, and I'm here at Hyperspace Hobbies. I'm also at Play on Tabletop if you know me from there. And today, we're taking a break from a little bit of our combo videos that we've been doing. We will get back to that, so if you're excited about that, no worries. It's a coming. I'm working on the Dark Angels one and the Deathwatch one right now, actually. Very cool indexes, but GW just dropped the Leviathan tournament companion, and they appear to have actually thought through this whole system. When I first started playing 10th edition, and I've been playing 10th edition now for a few games, I have well over 10 games under my belt, and I thought for a little while, man, something's just not right. And if you are rooted in internet land, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Eldar's a real problem, Towering's a bit of an issue, etc., etc. But for most of us, that aren't going to big GTs and stuff like that, or maybe you're just playing with a friend in your basement, maybe this game has felt just a little bit wobbly. GW to launch an edition and it feel wobbly doesn't feel awesome. I know as a longtime 40K player, this edition felt strange as it released. And I think it's because it felt almost unfinished. I think that's the right word. It felt almost unfinished. And I now see part of this finished picture. Is it perfect? No. Goodness, no. No, it is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. And I think it's ridiculous for us to think that any edition of Warhammer is going to be perfect. There's going to be things that we love about all the different editions as they go through time. But this particular one, now that we have the Leviathan Tournament Companion, now I'm beginning to see it. And the reason I'm beginning to see it is because of this terrain layout. Take a look. So this terrain layout, and they do clearly kind of talk about what they want it to look like, or what you can make it look like, and it can work for whatever kind of terrain that you have, whether it's something you've got at home, or if you're a tournament organizer, like I'm a tournament organizer, and I've got many different types of terrain sets from all these different types of manufacturers. And what I like about this is that they don't say you have to use our terrain. That's what makes it perfect. No, this is just a general layout that works for all these different missions, and there's a bunch of different layouts that work for a bunch of different missions. So I have used 10th edition, just kind of going with what I had last edition for terrain. I've now used 10th edition, the rule set with the tournament companion, and it is actually much better. And there's reasons why it's much better. So it is much better because of this terrain layout. This terrain layout makes it so that there are some, I would say, assigned firing lanes. But there's also ample ways for you to hide miniatures from the most devastating miniatures that are across the table. And there's more than enough terrain to do that. They mostly are behind ruins and other pieces of terrain. But it also lets you use that deck that they've created for secondaries and for missions and special rules, and they pre-select those things for you to make interesting games. I've played it now random, where we're just generating right out of the deck, and I've also played it with what they have suggested, and with what they've suggested, it is way better. Way better. Every single game that I've played with the tournament companion has gone better. So if you too are thinking to yourself, boy, GW, I don't know about this card thing. Do I have to make some myself? Is it always just random? Is that the most fair? No, it is not. That is for pickup games, for casual games, for fun games, for narrative games. Boy, you can make some fantastic narrative games out of this deck. But they have gone through and actually done the work for you to create reasonable mission layouts that actually do work. If you want a thought out and I would say as fair as they can make a game of Warhammer anyways, this is the clearest version of this that they've ever had. And they've had a few versions of this. Like, they've tried to take a run up this mountain a few times, and they, in my opinion, have finally, like, reached the top of it, where I look at the document, I look at the source material, and I go, oh, like, I get it now. Now I get it. It makes sense. And for the discrepancies in the data sheets, like, I know, like, balance is a concern that people have between external balance between factions, internal balance even, and the points are a little all over the place. They are just indexes. We have to kind of wait for the books a little bit, and we have to wait for GW to play catch up, because GW plays a lot of catch up. They release something, they see what happens. Even if they have an insular playtesting group, that playtesting group's not going to find literally everything, but everybody finds everything. And so they're playing catch up, and we're seeing it already. They just released a bunch of facts along with this compendium. If you haven't had a chance to play the companion, play the companion. I love that it's a free little digital download, and I really hope that they continue to be that way, because, like, this is just the fastest way for them to make those quick updates to this document, to other documents. I hope that they continue to do this little download feature that they're doing, and especially for little documents like this. And then they sell us the cards, and the cards are a great multi-purpose tool that people of, whatever gaming setting that you're in can use, whether you're casual, whether you're match play, whatever. Try your best to approximate terrain. I love that they have gone with an approximate terrain layout. And that approximation is a big deal. There are people online who have measured it out, but it still just is estimates. You can use really whatever you want to it. And I think it's good that you do use whatever you want. I don't believe in there being a fully standardized terrain layout for 40K, because then it starts to feel very like paintball-esque, and instead I want it to be fair, but I also want there to be, maybe a slightly advantageous side of the table, which makes winning that dice roll matter a little bit more, or two very kind of different sides of the table, which makes your choices matter a little bit more. And so you are in charge of what that looks like, because you're in charge of the game. So whether or not you are a tournament player, or you're just playing at home, or whatever, you are in charge of the game. And use those approximations, because you can do whatever you want, and that's okay. Right? But the approximations really do help. Like, we didn't use the exact layout that GW put in there with the little walls and the big walls, like whatever. We just put terrain in all those spots, and it was awesome. We just put terrain in those spots, and it was awesome. So give it a shot. I really think that GW has done really, really well. And I love to see the thought that they're putting into it. And I love to feel the thought that they're putting into it, because sometimes you're playing and you're like, why is it like this? I don't understand. Now I understand. And that is a good feeling to have at the table with a new edition, because I now feel with them placing this companion in my hands, now I feel like the edition is starting. And I feel very excited to play a game where just previously, honestly, I kind of wasn't. I was kind of like, yeah, this feels really random. It's kind of, we're drawing cards. But how does it work? What am I supposed to play on? I don't know. Now I know. And with clarity comes the enjoyment. And so I'm really happy that GW put this out. I wish this just came out like with Leviathan. Maybe in the future do that. But I feel really good about it. Play it. It is fair. I'm excited to hear your experiences down in the comment section. So maybe you're feeling different than I'm feeling, and that's okay. But let's just have a conversation about it. What has been your best experience with the Tournament Companion? If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to Warhammer Community and figure that out. But down in the comment section below, tell me how it has gone. And if the games have been better or if the games have been worse, just share with us your experience. We absolutely want to talk about it, because we love talking 40K, right? So from all of us here at Hyperspace Hobbies, we wish you happy gaming and a very good night.